Well, back on our Bronco here, Keeper and Shauna come out the other night before they had to go out of town, and we went over everything, showed them where we're at. So now we're ready to go on with round two. Now we pulled our axles out. We had them laying there on the floor. I went through my axles, pulled the covers to see what's going on. Now you saw in one of the previous videos the teeth that were chewed off of this unit right here, so I knew I had to replace those teeth. Then when I got in here, I saw the carrier bearings. You can see how bad they are. They're just chewed out inside there. Same for the pinion bearings. One of the axles didn't have a thrust washer on the spindle here, and just little stuff here and there. Well, I've got to make a good solid build, so I'm going to go in here and I'm going to fix all that stuff. His kingpins or ball joints, they're really nice and tight on both sides. I'm not going to bother them. The U-joints are really nice on the axles. I'm not going to mess with them, but all this other stuff I'm going to address. Got the rear axle out. It's laying right here. It's a 9-inch. It had a locking unit in it with 350 gears. Same in it. I get it apart. It's just a little bit too loose. Its rear axle may have run like it was, but it was just kind of loose and sloppy. There's pieces of metal in the locking unit, so I'm a little leery of putting that back in here on such a solid foundation that we're going to have here. So I'm going to put a new gears in it and a new unit in it, and then do all new bearings and everything in it. So I've decided I'm going to change my gear ratio to a 373. It's got a 350 in it right now with this overdrive. That 350 is going to put me at about 1900 RPMs at 70 miles an hour in fifth gear on the highway. I'm going to switch that to a 373. That's going to put me right at around 2000 RPM. I think it's 2047, something like that RPM in fifth gear at 70 miles an hour. It'll have a true track rear end in the back. That one will release when you go around a curve. When you accelerate under it, it will lock both axles in, but it won't ratchet, you won't hear it, and it will help you ride smoothly. When you put a locking rear end in or a real aggressive pause unit on a vehicle that says it's real tall, it has a tendency to push you around the curves. So all my other parts are laying down here on the floor as well for the rear end. Transfer case over on this table. So today I'm going to get out here and I'm going to steam clean wash this thing out. Just perfectly clean, get every piece of metal out of it. And then when my new parts come in, we'll put all this together and this will be in really, really good shape. So let me give you a look at what we got going on in the back. Now before we go back to the back, I want to show you. Now here's our transfer case. This is a Dana 20, and it feels pretty nice and solid, so I'm going to steam clean it inside and out and look at all this. I may not rebuild this yet. I'm going to look at it first to make sure it's in good shape, because these things are tough as nails. May see about putting some new seals in it and stuff like that, but I'm not sure yet. We'll play this one by ear. Then over here on this other side over here, I want to show you, this is my 9-inch. I'll give you a closer look. You can see how nasty all that oil is. And there's actually pieces of metal and pieces of chunkage all in that. And my axles, my rear brakes, and I had showed you all this, show you how bad that looks and all that funkiness. That axle seal's leaking and pouring in there. That axle seal's leaking, pouring in there. There's still, you can see there's still chunks of metal down in there. And then my 9-inch is laying here on the floor. And you probably won't be able to see in the video, but down inside here there's chunks of metal, and then the gears are just, you can see there's just chunks gone off the ends and pieces and parts, and it's just loose as can be. So I'm gonna steam clean that today and then totally rebuild all that. So now let's go back to the back and take a look back there. And while I'm doing that, I have another rear end here. Seems like they come in pairs. This one here, we're putting a 323 positive traction under it, so I got 3 rear ends going at one time. But let's go back here to the back. Oh, let me show you the wheels. Got the wheels for road rage, and look what a tight wheel that is on the back. Holy mackerel! I just got to find a tire that I can fit up under there now. But I had those wheels custom made to match the gauges, so you can see I have the nickel finish around them, and then somewhat the nickel finish around there. And notice my paddle shifter and all that. That's going to be a hoss. Now working my way back here to the back, in the booth you can see I've already got all these parts here. Been scuffed, prepped, clean, and ready for paint. We're going to paint those black. The shock's a silver, nickel-looking finish. Nerf bars and all that black. Now, let's go on back here to the back. Jaguar's getting about ready to paint. Going to work on that some today. Our motor, we're fixing to clean it, pickle it, and paint it the green. That's a Lamborghini, brand new Lamborghini color right there. And weld our rear bumper. And that's where we're at. All the bottom side, you can see the prep work we're doing. We're doing a little metal work. Everywhere you see the tape is where we're going to do a little metal work. So, that's where we're at right now on the Bronco. Let's get back to work. Well, we're out here in the rain today. I've got all these parts out here like I was telling you. I have steam cleaned them out inside and out. I've blown in the tubes to blow out everything out of the axle tubes, everything out of here. I've steam cleaned all that out, but you can see what a mess it is. I'm covered in grease, covered in water and funk. But now at this point, I'll get it all blown out. Hopefully all my parts are ordered and on the way, and then we'll put it all back together. But if you ever build an axle like this, that is the best way to do it. Just go ahead and completely wash it out, because you get debris inside these tubes. You get it inside the return chamber for your oil. It gets everywhere. This way it is really, really cleaned out, and will help us get it prepped and ready for paint and assembled. I was even able to steam clean out the inside of that transfer case. It looked pretty good in there. Got the steam cleaner all in there cleaned out. I may not have to rebuild that because it looks so nice inside of it. So now the rain is coming, so let's get back inside, put all this stuff inside, get it blown off, dried off, and ready to reassemble.